Well, hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Welcome to the Galactic Seabass channel. This is the Galactic Seabass Podcast, episode 105, with your host, Sebastian Seabass Fowler, Galactic Seabass, aka James Blonde, aka Seabass with cash symbols, aka the Sultan of Cinnamon. Anyway, what's going on? My name's Sebastian. Good to be here today, and I'm so glad that you could join me for today's episode. Welcome to the Galactic Seabass Podcast. If this is your first time here, make sure you click all those YouTube buttons. There's absolutely no plan. We're just going to go ahead and get into it. I have a couple of notes. We'll see how long those last. There is a plane about to go overhead, which means let's get a cheers for everybody. Rock and roll. Coffee at 7 p.m., just past 7 here on October 16th, 2025. Welcome to the channel. It's good to be here today. I'm very happy that you could join me for this incredible adventure calling a podcast. Now, start things off, I want to thank you all for your support. Thank you so much for being loyal viewers here on the channel. I know there aren't that many, and I'm grateful for every one of them at the same time. Without you guys, what really would be the point of this video series besides a video catalog of my life as a human being here on planet Earth? So thank you so much for being here and tuning in. Thank you for all work. Now, if you watched last week's episode, we were on the brink of destruction, the edge of oblivion, if you will. And we managed to find our way out of that hole. We had to dig quite a bit, but we built a little staircase, and we are almost at the top. We are 2 or 3 steps away. So if anybody would like to help support the podcast, there are links in the description. I will go ahead and throw them in the chat box here. I just want to say thank you again for your support. Likes, shares, leaving a comment. That all means a lot and goes a long way. So thank you for supporting the Galactic Seabass channel. Almost 10 years in. Next year, years of YouTubing. That is so crazy. So I'm pretty stoked to still be here and still doing this thing. Not really any idea what I'm doing, but there's almost 700 attempts at it. So that's pretty cool. And we are here. We're live. So let's go ahead and tune into whatever's going on with you guys before we get into what's going on with me. This week has basically just been bills. I have not stopped working in Lord knows how long. Every day. We're just up and at it. And I'm still just a little bit under zero. It's so funny to put in all these hours and not have anything to show for it. So a bit of support goes a long way if you guys want to drop some love digitally, financially. Don't think that's a word, but I kind of like the way it rolls off the tongue. Trying to find my own channel here. This is my dog. I'm not sure if but he is a very good dog, and I love him very much. I also love my cat, and I don't know where he's still been quite a menace as far as what am I really supposed to do about that sort of thing, as at the end of the day, he's a cat. And there's not really like any kind of, trans animal service where I could turn him into a dog or something. You'd think so. I'm in California. Very lenient here as far as bodily mutilation goes. However, I find myself not able to do that because, 1, that's insane, and 2, can't do it yet. I would make him a cyborg, be like a cyborg kitty cat. That'd be sick. I think we'll get there in probably like 100 years or so. We'll have little animal pets that are half cyborg and half flesh and live for hundreds and hundreds of years. I called it here today, October 2025. All right, we are doing this. Rock and roll. My computer's very slow, probably because I have 89 tabs. That's how you do it. Rock and roll. Chicka-cha-pow. 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 Pow-pow. It's hard to type and say stuff at the same time. Doodle-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Drop something in the live chat if you are here. And if you're watching this later, drop a comment where you watched it from. This is a podcast. Don't know what You'd think I would have learned something in about 2.5 years of progress. Skibbity boobity boobity. Anyway, we had a pretty good week, honestly. Besides the work, I realized that I was going to be locked down into this work pit for a while, so we took it upon ourselves to go and do stand-up comedy again. It felt really good to get back out on stage. It was funny because Monday I went over to this and I totally bombed. I ate it hard. I could feel the silence resonating through my bones. And then on Tuesday, tried again, and it went much better. It was a more successful attempt at telling jokes to strangers. I felt that they appreciated it. I worked really hard to give them stuff that they'd like. I tried to throw some new stuff in there. And then, that went well at American Comedy Company, their open mic. And then I went back to Madhouse and I did sound for a little bit because I was late on the list. So did sound to get a better spot. And then probably went like 10th or something. Tried again. And boom, one of my fellow comedians who he said that I had the room, which I've never heard anybody say about me before. So, excuse me, that felt really good. Both the burp and the satisfaction of telling jokes in a successful manner. I'm grateful for that, honestly. That was sick. Never would have thought, as a young boy living in Connecticut, eating friendlies with his grandmother, that one day I would tell jokes at the expense of other types of individuals based on stereotypes that I point out uniquely. Come see me live, do stand-up, October 24th at U31, and hopefully I will be having more dates booked soon. So far, that's the one I have, and we'll be doing open mics around town in the meantime. Just trying to get our wits together and just keep on working on the craft. Maybe even try to get a local show put together. I have some ideas. I just have to go follow through with like the application process and make sure I can get a venue. And if I could start doing like a local show, that'd be sick. The opportunities from that would definitely be huge. So I'm trying to get something going on. And with that being said, comedy's great. It's a really cool way to do art and be a performer. And you don't really need to bring a whole bunch of equipment, just your thoughts, and they usually are phones, so you just get up there and blah, they laugh, and boom, you get off, and then if you get good enough, you can get paid, travel. I feel like there should be a way for me to start to, I just don't know what process to go about that in. I got followers, got content, just like, okay. So, small, maybe see if we can book something. If you're some kind of an agent or manager, you have a label or whatever, and you have ideas of how I could, expedite this process, please feel free to reach out. Reach out anyway. Just, say what's up. I've been saying this for like 100 episodes, and no one has done it yet. Just send an email to galacticseabass@gmail.com. Send it. Ask me for advice in something. Tell me a crazy story. Help me further my career as a comedian. All people that would like to reach out are welcome to do so. So send me an email. That sounds really nice. I'd love to hear from you. We can read them live on the air. I'll have some stuff to go off. I want to be more interactive with my fan base, so I need you guys to interact with me to do that. Please. For the love of all is holy, please, send me an email. Get my best out here, golly. Oh, jeez. I've got lots of different voices I could do. That's, my brain is crazy. It is all over the place. What's going on? I hope my mom is doing well. I haven't spoken to her in about 2 months or something. So, hi mom, I love you and I miss you. And she called me an orphan, and that really hurt my feelings. The good news is she's alive and I'm not an orphan. Such a ridiculous thing to say. At the end of the day though, here we are. Positive, stay motivated, keep going, and just believe in yourself, man. At the end of the day, hey, what's up, Dark Hills? Good to be here. Thanks for being here, buddy. Rock and roll. If you want to start the episode over from the beginning, you're welcome to, or just stay live. We're here live. Wow. Today is October 16th. So that means yesterday it would have been 5 months since we completed BMX Across America. I rode a BMX bicycle from San Diego to New York City, taking a 600-mile detour to Austin, Texas, to shoot my shot at getting on Kill Tony. We got on the show, ended up going on Netflix. How unbelievable. Truly a flabbergasting moment. So, I've had 5 months to sit and think about it, appreciate the process, and almost I was living on the highway and surviving off gas station burgers and body armor flash plus. Oh my gosh, that's what I lived on. And just I don't know, man. It feels surreal to know that that's in the books, and I don't know. I definitely thought more things from something as crazy as that was. It was like, I don't know. It was really kind of underwhelming to get back, and people were like, dude, and that's about it. I was like, oh, okay. I was hoping for some sponsorship opportunities or to be able to do like some new stuff, and I was slightly distant matter. But the good news is we're alive and we made it, and boy oh boy is it a story to tell. So I'm pretty grateful for the fact that we made it back successfully, and thank you to Aaron Trey taking such good care of my animals while I was gone. What an OG. Got some comments in the live. Grinding, brother. Thanks for the support along the BMX journey. I appreciate you, man. Much love, my guy. Thank you, Seven Sins Music. Appreciate you, Brody. Thanks for all your support, guys. Make sure you check the description for those links. Hit the YouTube buttons and help keep this podcast afloat. If I had more, sponsorship opportunities with Liquid coming in to this sort of endeavor, we'd have more finance to be able to do bigger adventures, and I want to do crazy stuff. Whoa, there's a helicopter yelling at somebody right now. Whoa, they're yelling at somebody to get on the sidewalk. Someone's going to get arrested. Not me, because I'm in my house and I can do whatever I'd like right now. In fact, I'll do this. It's not illegal. That was really weird. I'm a weird guy. What? You're interrupting my podcast. Stop. Turn that helicopter down. It's too loud. My neighbors are trying to sleep. Gee willikers. Boy, oh boy, Batman. We are really out here doing this thing. And yeah, it feels good to be back in San Diego. I remember missing my dog and my cat so much when I was on the road. I just thought about them. I missed my hometown, and I missed my car, and my bed, and my shower, and my toilet, and all kinds of things, dude. I pooped in so many weird places on that trip, and it's a bit more uncomfortable than others. Outside, inside, all kinds of places. There were a lot of aspects to that journey. I never thought I'd get chased by dogs. I never thought I would be on the brink of death in the middle of nowhere. That is, just crazy. So grateful to still be here. Heart's still beating. Legs are pretty swole. Got a sick tattoo. Went to Pittsburgh. Made it across in 80 days. Unbelievable. Grateful to be able to roll. You were born in Poway. I didn't know where I was going, so I followed my roommates from Camp Woodward back, and they were like, yeah, we have lives and families, so we're going to go home, but the skate park is over there. And that was 12 years ago, and some change, which is actually mind-blowing. I've been in San Diego for a long time. But I'll still be here. So it's taken a lot, and you just keep trying your best, find your way. We got like 2 weeks until the month ends, so let's get to it. Time to grind. Trying my best out. By golly, I'm doing my best. It is not easy. This cheesy. But seriously, Camp Woodward. Shouts out to Camp Woodward. We, I suppose I can show off all this info now since it's closed. That is the craziest thing ever. This is seriously one of the nuttiest things. I'm 19 years old. I get a job while living in South Dakota, Camp Woodward, in Tehachapi, California. Never been there. Thinking, all right, let's go. I'm never coming back, so I drive 35 hours one way and work at this summer camp for 3 weeks. And it's over. There's 3 weeks. And I don't want to go back. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to get to San Diego. I literally don't have a GPS. I wrote down the directions all the way from South Dakota to California. It's crazy. And after 3 weeks, I go to Sean Dorton. I'm like, Sean, is there any way that I can stay for the rest of camp? There's only 3 weeks left. I'll do whatever. I don't have to do the same job. I'll clean the dishes. And he says, hey, look, we don't have any jobs left. I'm sorry. Good luck with whatever. And I said, well, if anything pops up, you let me know. So I got a call that night. And Sean says, hey, look, man, this guy missed his bus. He won't be here in time. Do you want to be an instructor next week? And I thought, yeah, dude. So I got to teach little kids for 3 weeks. And my new roommates for that 3 weeks were Ate and Willie, some of my best friends to this day. And I followed them after camp all the way to San Diego. We parted ways in a parking lot, and the rest is history. So I go to Camp Woodward because 12 years later, they would invite me back to do stand-up comedy with Rick Thorne and Pancho Moeller. It was a sick show. Drove 4 hours to do 20 minutes of comedy. I might still be waiting on that payment, even though it was in August, and grateful that opportunity arose. What was really funny was trying to collect that check from Woodward and the guy I was working with. Either his manager, assistant, or co-employee. I'm like, hey, I can't get a hold of this guy. And they're like, yeah, his last day was yesterday. So the camp is closed. And I'm just like, can I have my paycheck, please, before you permanently shut down? And that is pretty silly. Let's see what we got in the comments here. Thanks for praying for me during my journey. I really appreciate that. South Dakota, rock and roll. Definitely expensive weed out there. Love the shirt. Treehouse of Horror is great. Oh yeah, all the Treehouse of Horrors are pretty fantastic. Absolutely. Thinking about doing comedy. You should do it, man. It's great. It's fun. Just write some jokes down and go in front of people and tell them and see if they are funny. I've been in South Dakota since I was 16. I'm 44 now. 44, baby. You're still flowing. We're still or a lawn that you keep mowing. You know it? Anyway, new South Park episode today. They have been on point with some of these new charades, and apparently the new episode is about the 6-7 frenzy, which, as an older millennial, I don't really understand what it means. I don't even really care to guess. When I was a kid, 6s and 7s was a dope song by Queens of the Stone Age. I love that song. And now I wonder if it played ironically. You can only wonder in this tragic world. So we'll watch that later and maybe look at because I really don't know what it's referring to at all. I haven't really movies this week. We do have a couple to go over. I suppose we could do our movie reviews a little bit earlier than usual. We'll just knock these out of the way. So these are Seabass's movie reviews of the week. We only have 2 and a TV because I got wrapped into a new TV show. Prime I think I'm about to cancel Netflix and Prime because Prime, one, too expensive, and I don't use the service that often, being the fact that I broke. Two, Netflix is really pushing a lot of agendas in their kids shows. Don't have kids, but I also don't want to support a big corporate entity that's diminishing the, you know, the minds of children. I don't like that. I don't fucks with it. So we're gonna bail on that. At the same time, good movie selection on Prime. There's actually the greatest movie selection for free movies out of any service is probably YouTube. I'm not even going to lie. YouTube, free movies, whoever the curator is for that, you deserve a promotion and a medal and a vacation. You're a good guy. Thank you. At the same time, we're watching Prime. If you finish a movie, it'll autoplay the movie within seconds of the credits rolling, which sometimes you want to watch the credits and see if there's something happening. Like there's literally something in the background. You're like, can I finish what it's showing me? No, you should watch this terrible TV. It has recommended some awful programming in the last few weeks, and I'll let it play for a second, and it's like, oh, this is garbage, and you just turn it off. So this time we watched a movie, Holmes and Watson. It wasn't amazing. It was good. It was a good movie. I am a big fan of Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Their dynamic together is very fun to watch. I've been a fan since I was a young, perhaps before that, probably old school when I was in the single digits. Anyway, Holmes and Watson. You got Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Will is Sherlock, and Reilly is James Watson. I believe that's his full name. I know he's Dr. Watson. Anyway, it's like a play on the Robert Downey Jr. version of Sherlock, which is a fantastic movie. And they do the whole counting thing, but he messes it up every time a little bit. And it's fun. I mean, you kind of solve the whole mystery in the first 5 minutes, and then you get to the end of it, and it's like, really? There wasn't like a secret, not clearly this lady who's been... Alright, whatever. So 7 out of 10. Here's what happened though. It auto-played Monk. Now, I've never watched Monk growing up. I remember the commercials for it on Fox or whatever. It would always, those commercials during like The Simpsons or something along that kind of programming. I remember I knew of its existence. I never watched the show. So it starts playing, and it's pretty good. It's like a dude with OCD because he lost his wife. All crimes, all cool, and it's like, oh, this is like Law and Order without being like as gruesome. It's like just a smart dude. He's kind of like Rain Manny. It's very, it's like Big Bang Theory if it didn't suck. I like it. Also Big Bang Theory if it didn't solve murders instead of being quantum physicists. So that's a little different. So we're gonna go ahead and drop those two services. They were fun for a while, but we gotta save dough. Speaking of the dough, if you want to help support, links in the description, or send me a Venmo or a Cashapp. Thank you very much, Itcha. I love you, and you guys rock. What is going on? I wrote down some stuff. We should probably finish up the movies before we get all drastic. The other movie we watched was I just want to make sure this is right. I believe it's The Naked Gun. I'm not sure if they just... Yeah, The Naked Gun 2025. So, what's the sub name of the movie? That's just... It was awesome. I loved it. Start to finish. Riot. I will probably watch it again because it felt like... Oh, I haven't seen a good slapstick comedy in a while. And Liam Neeson being this serious actor that he is really brings just this different level of authenticity to the character. It was very true to Leslie Nealon. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. No way. Oh. Okay. That almost got me. I thought Leslie Nielsen was the dad of Kevin Nealon, so I thought it was Leslie but it's Leslie Nielsen. All right, that doesn't check out, but that could have been pretty cool. I do like Kevin Nealon a lot. Yeah, I mean, era. I mean, Naked Gun, Airplane. He's in a bunch of stuff. I mean, he's in the scary movies for gosh sakes. He is such a funny dude. His comedy really stems from the fact that he's very serious about the character. The character never laughs or has fun. He's always 100% into thinking this is how it is. I'm just a buffoon. Or, I mean, some of the writing in those, as a comedian, it's just, how do you get better than that? Some of these jokes are unparalleled. Like the whole, I mean, surely you can't be serious. I am, and don't call me Shirley. Now, my personal favorite from the movie is either the guy who is in the taxi the whole time, and every 20 minutes they just cut back to him, and the meter's still going. So the fact that he ran back to flip the meter, like, the dude, just get out, man. And the other part is when they're in the cockpit, and I want to make sure I get I'm pretty sure it's what's our vector? Victor. We have clearance, Clarence. Roger. I believe that's just very fun. I like that a lot. There's the whole thing where the little kid meets the captain, and you've got so many different parts of that movie where that lady's singing the song and rips out the cord, and she just starts dying, and the whole cast having a great time. I mean, the lady freaking out in the line of people waiting to slap her. It's ridiculous. It's hit after hit after hit. The whole movie is start to finish funny, and that's how I felt watching this new. It was awesome. There's a part where this guy, like, they changed the scenes and it says like 9 months later or something, but a guy runs into the subtitle and falls over and the letters topple, and it's just, what? No one's ever done that. I've never seen a movie interact with the subtitles. They've been making movies over 100 years. That is, it's nice. It's refreshing. So see, the thing is, it's so close to being perfect. Just why was it a reboot? Why didn't you just make, like, I don't know. I guess it was very true to the brand. At the same time, it's made a different movie with that same concept. I guess people could have said it was like a rip on it. I mean, just make original movies. You know? Stop rebooting things. I know that all this seem like they're taken, but every once in a while you'll watch a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once. And all the people who worked the CGI for that film learned on YouTube how to, they made it at home. That's just like, you can make an original movie. Just think. Use your brains. We're human beings. We have harnessed the power of artificial intelligence. Don't plagiarize it, but utilize it. Or don't. And save some trees. You're cool. I've been chat GPT like crazy. It seems to support all the things that last night I was like, hey, chat GPT, what should I do? And it said, go to bed. And I thought, you know what? You're probably right. So I got on my phone and scrolled for 4 hours. Just teasing. Probably only like 2 hours. Rest in peace, Leslie Nielsen. You are one of the GOATs. And Scoobity bobbity bobbity boop bop bop. Scoobity bobbity boobadoo bop bop. That would be activating. It's good to be here, man. About halfway through in this episode today, here in San Diego, California way. Down California way. I'm very intrigued on the South Park now. It's going to be in my head. Anyway, Naked Gun, I never gave it a score. My brain is so off track right now. Good golly. Naked Gun, 2025, Liam Neeson, 10 on the Seabass. Movie score, which would be 4.5 stars. Nice job. Great job, guys. I will watch it again. There's a chance it goes up. There's a chance it goes down. Who knows? All I know is that I had a great time. And I like the movie. So well done. Congratulations, dudes. Dudes and ladies and lady dudes and dude ladies. We're here. Let's light a candle. Why not? That sounds fun. Just realized I can see this. What's it called? Not the reflection. In the view of, you know, the camera. I don't know why that word is escaping me right now. The focal point? No, the depth of field. The frame. Ha 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 ha. Camera lingo. I've only been shooting photography for 14 years. Don't worry about me. I'm a goofball. That is the truest of all. Oh man, that's good to be here. Thanks for all your support, everybody. No idea what I'm doing, but we're doing it. We're living life and we are on the rocks. Scoobity boobity boop boody 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 boom. Scoobity bop. Skabooda bop bop. That would be the Monster Inc. theme song. I don't know what's going on with my brain today, guys. Sorry, I'm unmedicated, I'm 31, and I smoke a lot of weed. So please give me a little bit of slack here. It would be easier to stream my thoughts if they weren't all sporadic, all the time, every day, 24/7. But we do what we can, and we made it this far, over 100 episodes in. How neat is that? Thanks for being here. 105, this smells good. What else do we got? Alright, those are our movie reviews for the week. Also, Monk is pretty good. I like it a lot. Check out Monk. I don't really have like a score for it, because it's really like episode by episode. The first one, and the second one, I was like, alright. The third one, I'm like, that's pretty good. And the fourth one, I kind of think so. I don't really know what happened at the end. But I'm pretty sure Monk solved it. That seems like where it was headed. If I had to use my movie guesser ADHD brain. That is one of the benefits. You do get to understand the endings of most films before they happen. That is one of the benefits of untreated ADHD. So thank you to my mom and my dad. I appreciate you very much for this. On the most minor of scales. We really were, it just says the edge of oblivion. That's where I was last week. So, man, it feels good to kind of be like almost out of this hiccup. Grateful, I think. I have like $30 to go. Technically, right now, with the amount that I have, I think I'm at $0 between my Venmo and my bank and the amount of cash that I have. I have $0 because my bank's negative. I am trying to stay positive, and I'm just waiting on some payments to come through, and they are really taking their time. So, just need to make sure there's gas in my car so I can keep working while I'm looking for a new job. Hopefully find one before the end of October. Get adequated to that through November. Have a nice, happy... And then by the end of it, you're going to have a nice job into December with a salary that I know what it is at the end of every 2 weeks. And I can continue working on my little crafts and side hustles and stuff while also knowing that I'll have the bills paid. That is really what has to go down. So I'm trying my best. Even if it's a driving job, like a new driving job for maybe like a limo service or maybe a chauffeur service. I've got over 7,000 5-star rides. I'm pretty good. I get people there safe. I've single-handedly prevented DUIs. I've made thousands of people laugh. Got them all safe. Managed to fit all kinds of different groups in the car. Whenever you get 4 big people and they look at you, they're like, I don't know if I'm going to fit. I'm like, I've seen it. And they get in. And yeah, then they're just really close for a little bit. Sometimes they smell bad. But you roll down the windows and just go with the flow. You get them there safe and stars, so you never see them again. That's a fun fact. If you give a driver 3 stars or less, you will never match with that driver on the platform ever again. So keep that in mind, because that's good and to have. Is this getting hot? I don't want my cup to start melting. That'd be unfortunate. feels slightly hot. So we're just going to go ahead and an inch. Man, I remember I spilled beer on this podcast a long time ago. I spilled beer right on my laptop, which was one of the worst moments in this podcast history. It was also funny, so I'm glad it's on video. Look back, enjoy the laughter together. By golly, those were good times. Wow, that's probably like a year ago, because I was wearing a Halloween pumpkin head. I had a pumpkin on my head, literally. And that's what knocked over the beer. So it's been a year since we fixed our laptop, and it's still going. Big shout out to, oh my gosh, fixed it, but I know where it is and I get their information. I know if we go back in time to the episode where I brought my laptop back, I would probably have it there. It's like a phone fix over in East County by my friend Dayton's house. And I don't remember what it's called, but he's the best. So if you DM me, I will find the address for you for sure. What else is going on in today's world? The UK is in a state of a dystopian nightmare that I did not ever expect. You know, at one point, England ruled the world. And now they have become subject to some sort of rule, and I have no idea how things went so south for a people once so proud of their homeland. It seems like, you know, it's crazy. I went to Europe in 2015, and I remember that was sort of the beginning of like this big migrant crisis. That's what I was hearing it refer to when I was out there. I was in Budapest, and we were supposed to take a train to Venice. My friends Alyssa, Fiona, and I were supposed to go. We ended up not being able to go because the train shut down because, quote, there were too many migrants on the tracks, end quote. So this was back in 2015. And then I remember this and seeing like kind of the beginning of it, I guess. Like there was like a good amount of people like that. Compared to some of these videos I'm seeing nowadays, it was nothing in comparison. And then, yeah, I mean, you've got just this crazy influx of new people with cultural ideologies that don't align with the Western world. Put it plain and simply, they're getting free government housing, food, shelter, medical. Meanwhile, you know, British patriots and veterans are struggling. It's very similar to what's sort of happening in America a little bit, just with a different demographic. And now they're trying to push digital ID to help combat the immigrant crisis. But then you realize like these people won't use the IDs. They're illegal immigrants. They don't care about the laws that are obviously in place already. So why would new laws change that? It's like gun control laws. Like, look, everywhere these shootings are happening, it says don't bring a gun in there. Your money with an armed guard, you can protect high class people, celebrities and politicians with armed guards, but you can't protect yourself and your family. Is what they're trying to push. That's stupid. That's such a crazy thought. And then you got over in England, hey, they took their guns away in 1997. Less than 30 years later, they are being arrested. Posts on Facebook, like grandmothers going on Facebook. I think what's happening is bad. I noticed that the ethnic origin of this man who raped and killed this young girl, a foreigner, and they come over, hey, thought police, you're under arrest because you said something that goes against the narrative. And it's like, well, was what I said unfactual? No, but we just don't want to insinuate anything or look racist. Like, that's crazy. Your ancestors died in the trenches and you're afraid of looking racist? pathetic. It's crazy. And I know that's what you hear in America. So it's like, well, that's not good. That's clearly a bad thing. And then now you got this digital ID, and if that, it already passed. Like it's a past thing. It's going to take the citizens to revolt against it. Otherwise, they're fucked. And then it's just one more country under totalitarian control. Because you got that, you can't. If you start talking bad about the government or like not paying your bills or blah blah blah, you can't buy food, you can't pay your rent for anything. You are forbidden from traveling. It's happening in China right now. That's the social credit score system, and it's like, okay, well, that's not good. So why are you doing that? You're a Western civilization. It makes no sense. So England seems like it's fucked. I really hope they come together and do something. Nepal had a revolution, took 2 days. They put in a new prime minister. Mexico just had an election. I think the lady's name is Steinbaum. And it's like, okay, hold on. Mexico is 99.7%, and a Jewish lady was elected president. Okay, well, how many candidates that were running against her were assassinated during that period? The answer is 37. 37 people died running for the office of President of Mexico. Out of this battle royale, the winner was a Jewish lady whose last name, I believe, is Steinbaum. Mexico. They just posted a new law that bans memes because there's a photo of her in the sunlight and she looks pretty Jewy. There's no other way to put it. And it's giving a bad look. It's like, bro, that's what you look like. What? You gotta start wearing a Halloween mask or something if that's what you want to avoid. But that's crazy. Their own president is banning memes. All that will probably get me shut down. But I want to speak what I'm thinking. So I said after Charlie was assassinated that I was going to use this podcast for truth, and we're laying it down here. Speaking of Charlie, boy, oh boy, these rumors just flying around. This Tyler fella, not really making any sense. I was just found out today there was a huge spike in search for the name Tyler James Robinson in Washington, D.C. on the day prior to the assassination, which is very odd. Just so many things don't add up. You got the fact that no ambulance really ever came through and handled anything. It was all a bunch of cohorts that were within the turning point circle. You got no blood after the fact, even though it hit a major artery. It would have hit her, and it would have been if it was a 30-06, it would have exploded. Strong bones aren't going to stop that giant caliber weapon, especially given the force that they said it had. The shot exited through the front, which means it couldn't have come through the back. Or it couldn't have come through the front. It had to come from either the back or the side. 5, you got this lapel with vector tech to figure out where the impact force started. It's all coming from his lapel mic, which is the perfect setup for that sort of thing. You got the guy doing the hand signals. You got these guys doing a little third base coach, and like a minor league baseball game. And then immediately you got this guy in the front. I don't even know how many we're up to now. This guy goes like this, and he goes, pops it, and then it goes boom, and then it pops, and then everyone goes wow. Then you got that guy who did this little click thing. He runs in, and another man grabs something off of Charlie and does like a super cool handoff thing to this guy, and he bails. Then they carry him to the car. There's no blood trail the whole way. We're at I don't even know how many we're at now. There's no autopsy. There's no certificate of death. They hope that the stadium that they booked for the memorial service was booked in May of this year, which is crazy. It's not like they've used that size stadium in the past, and I don't even know if it was a stadium, auditorium, theater. I don't really understand where it was, but the Charlie Kirk Memorial, that was booked in May, so that's weird. Then you got no parents at that event. Then you got Erica smiling. Then you got Erica taking over the podcast within a week, even though there's like scared children and she should be sad and she's smiling. What the fuck? Like, how many more things do we need to go down the list to say that this is fishy? None of this makes any sense. So I don't know. I always liked the guy. I never thought that this would turn into whatever it is now, because this is nuts, man. I don't know what's going on. AI is getting so good. I don't even know what's real anymore. Within a year or two, we won't be able to tell what's fake and what's real. That's 100%. And that's scary, because 2 years ago, Will Smith eating spaghetti was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And now there's a video of him eating spaghetti, and it looks great. So, it's better. You know, people just download Sora 2, type in a prompt, make a video, post it, and now that it just exists in the ether. And everything that we're using evidence now, later on in time, will be like subject to AI ridicule. They're like, oh, that didn't happen. And you're like, no, this did happen. Look, I have a video. And they're like, yeah, I don't buy it. So we're getting to a very strange place in human existence. What's real? What's not real? This is like a crazy episode of The Twilight Zone with no ending in sight. And it's kind of, so, I don't know. Stay safe. Hug your family when you love them. I have no idea what's going on. It's crazy, man. I don't even know. There's like 20 other things about the Charlie thing, so I could just go on, but I'll leave it at that. I made a poem on Instagram. I didn't make a poem on Instagram. I wrote a poem, cited it on Instagram, and I think I lost 500 followers in 2 hours, maybe. People were really upset that I felt sad that this got murdered. And this was like, right after it happened. I wrote it maybe 2 days later, and then I thought about it for a little bit, 2 days later, and a lot of really angry people in the comments, and there were a lot of people that came to my support too, like, hey, this is pretty cool to be vulnerable, like, I like what you said, very beautiful poem, blah blah blah, but a lot of people like were very mad, and it's like, how do you have to get to a point where you can preach gun violence is wrong for years and years and years over school shootings or whatever topic you wanted to subjugate it to? You just say gun violence is wrong, and then gun violence happens to a guy, and they're like, well, I'm glad he deserved it. And it's like, you can't do both things. You can't be on both sides of the seesaw. That's not how that works. You have to choose your position. The reason that we have the Second Amendment is that in the event that our government decides to, take away all our guns and force us to a digital surveillance system where they'll control every aspect of our lives and go with what they say, then, they can ruin your entire life and take it all away and just do a couple of clicks and boom, you have no money. You have nothing. You have nothing and you'll be happy. Well, in that case, a bunch of people who think that's a fucking stupid idea can get together and tell a very small amount of people who are in charge of that, hey, fuck you, not gonna happen. And that's why we used to have the guillotine. And maybe we need to bring back public executions, because it seems like some politicians around the world are getting a little comfortable. The WEF is a problem. The UN, debatably, is an issue. It's there's a lot of things going on that don't make any sense. Like, how can the International Criminal Court say this is supposed to be every country in the world, right? We all come together. This is our court system that we agree to as a whole people, as a species. And they're like, all right, Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal and he should be placed under arrest. Right? Okay. Benny Boy flies to Washington, D.C. and gets a standing ovation, the likes of which that hall has since Obama. And he gets to just fucking hang out and do whatever he wants and pass all new laws and just let AIPAC run America. It's like, yo, isn't this guy going to jail? Like, isn't he wanted for a genocide debate of the Holocaust right now? It's like, no. Trump just signed the peace deal. It's like, okay, that's cool. Why did bombs go off within hours of that treaty going into effect? I think it's just a worthless treaty. I don't know what to believe anymore. I really don't. AI has gotten to a point I can't. These videos are real. What time frame they came from? Is it before? Is it after? Is that even really the place that they're referring to? I mean, they have a fake aid station in Jerusalem. And go and just like, look at me, look at all this food that's in Gaza and they're not even using it. It's literally like a movie set that they will fly you to. And if you make positive posts about Israel, they will give you $7,000 per post. Now, you can tell that I'm being, at least authentic, because I don't get $7,000 a post. I'm broke as fuck. And I had to compromise my soul for less than 6 figures, Come on, be real. And it just seems like people are, there's no integrity. 93 out of 100 seats in the Senate are bought out by AIPAC. I think it's like the House is, there's maybe like 20 people that aren't. So, excuse me. We basically live in the United States of Israel. It's crazy. I never realized that was the case growing up, it wasn't always the case. And ever since 9/11, we've basically just been doing, hey, this country's causing a problem for us. Which countries don't have centralized bank systems? Okay, well, let's go attack those. And then say it's for war on terror. And that's what we did. We were in Iraq, and we killed 1 million Iraqi civilians, and then they're like, oh, wait, yeah, there was no bomb. Sorry. That was Benjamin Netanyahu, who spoke before Congress and was like, Iran has a bomb. That's a terrible impression, but Iran has a bomb. And they are a threat to democracy. They're within days of building their nuclear weapon. We need to attack now. And then we did. We literally, Bush went over there and bombed the shit out of them. And then we killed over 1 million people. And they're like, there's no. But they had the entire infrastructure to take over super easy. And we got access to the oil. Like, damn. A lot of people died for that. And then, you think about Libya. You think about Yemen. You think about, I don't know why this is all my brain. I'm really not doing great right now. Afghanistan, Libya, Sudan. All these places we've had wars over the last 20 years. Who benefits? The military-industrial complex and Israel. That's crazy. Our government's technically shut down. United States soldiers do not get a paycheck. Israel does. Like, you just follow the money. And then you'll pretty much see, like, 90% of the time, that's where it goes. And it's like, for a long time, I don't know, people called Kanye crazy. And I'm thinking, is he crazy? Or if you're locked into a multi-billion-dollar contract with people who don't like you, technically own the rights to everything you do, how do you break away from that kind of contract? Well, one way, I suppose, is to do something so outlandish it would be forced to do nothing other than terminate the contract early, breach it, and leave you to be at your own devices. And I think that's what NHH really was. One, the song is gas. It's a bopper. If it were not for one lyric, maybe the whole song, it would probably be number one. Just the way it makes you feel, despite anything he said. You could be illiterate to words and just it's a bopper. It's undeniable. So, you know, Kanye went into this accusation that, they're controlling his career and his money, and then they took all his money and ruined his. So it's like, wait, hold on, what? What? Is he a genius? I don't know. It's interesting world that we live in right now. Basically, yeah, I don't know, since Charlie got popped, I've just been deep researching. And every time I follow this rabbit hole, it's like, going the same place. So, I don't know, man. I love America. I really do. I love this country for what it truly stands for. Unless our founding fathers were just bullshit and they knew this would happen. I don't fucking know. I just want to pay my bills. Preferably, I'd pay a mortgage so I could live in a house and, own it, technically. Technically, you're the tenant, even if you have a mortgage, on your deed. That's how it's all written in the paperwork and whatnot. But there was a time where you could own land in your house, and you weren't taxed. You could just exist with your family and raise them, and that just seems like such a stretch. I can barely afford gas. I don't know how I'm supposed to afford a family. And that's a rough thought. There's a lot of young men right now. It's unprecedented. The term incel is definitely being thrown around in contexts where it's being put off as highly negative. And in some cases, it's sad, it's devastating. I often think about the fact that I've even gotten to make out with a girl, let alone a bunch. I know I've done scandalous things in the past, and I'm trying to get closer to God and be a better person. So that's a thing of the past, but I've enjoyed the company of several beautiful women, and I'm very grateful. No idea how a single one of them happened, but at the same time, there are men that are alive right now that will potentially live their entire lives without knowing what it feels like to even hold a girl's hand or get a kiss on the cheek, let alone to perform coitus with a lady. It's very sad. And now the dating world is getting tainted and toxic, where the men hate the women hate the men. Men are competing with each other, women are competing with each other. Maybe, I don't really know. But we're not working together, and the birth rate is shrinking, and we're losing the next generation, How many babies have been aborted in the last 10 years? Let's just go 20s. Let's go 20 years. How many babies have been aborted in the last 20 years? Oh, it's not going to do an auto fill for me. Who would have guessed? It's doing AI research right now. Jeez. Fuck, dude. Yo. According to the provided sources, about 63.6 million abortions. 63.6 million abortions occurred in the U.S. from 1973 through 2020. Okay, hold on. I don't know what to say. That's not the number I expected. That's crazy. That's so crazy. That's not my place to judge whether it was because of a medical reason or because it was convenient. There's like 60 million people who will never get to be alive. That's really sad. That's really sad. Like, fucked up, dude. I'm struggling with that number. That's... My mom was born in that year. I know you're supposed to say that, but it's crazy, man. I'm really grateful to be here. That's a lot of kids. How many people have died of smoking in the last 20 years? Just to like give it a comparison. I have no idea what to relate it to. That's probably the numbers too, honestly. It's probably way more. Let's go smoking. Last 20 years from smoking. Gotta put the US for the stats. Gave me a global stat. Yo, that's crazy. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a fucking second. Alright. It's not giving me the data. I've provided 20-year total, but the CDC estimates around 480,000 American deaths annually from smoking based on data from 2005 through 2009. Okay. So, just to put that in the same perspective, you got 1970 to 2020. That's about 50 years, give or take. We'll just 50 to be clean. You got 480 per year. Go half a mil just to be, easier on us for the math. We're gonna do 50 times what was the number? Half a million. So it's gonna be it's gonna be 25 million people. How many babies was it? 60 plus million. So not even half. More than twice as many babies were aborted than people who died from smoking in the year from 1973 through 2020. That's sad, man. It's really, really sad. Damn. I don't want it to ruin my career. I'm not ready to be a mom. Well, don't fuck people. Like, I don't know, man. I've had my fair share of, scares. It's like, oh no, am I gonna be a dad? But every time that happened, it like, not that like any girl ever told me I was pregnant. Well, thank goodness. Now I'm waiting for a wife, if that's going to happen. But at this point, it's like, it's not even worth risking. Like, having a baby is such a commitment. And I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. I know it's not my choice. I would definitely, give up everything. And I'm happy with the dreams I got to have for now. But it would take the secondary row to my life if, there was a kid in there. So, that's crazy. I don't know how you could do that. But then again, like I do, living in the financial place I live in, like I can see the reasoning, but also it's like, I don't know, God will find a way to develop a human being inside of you. That's such an incredible gift from the universe. And then you're like, nah. And I understand there are certain reasons that you shouldn't do that. There's incest, there's complications, there's all kinds of stuff that can go wrong. But just to willy-nilly, like, nah, I don't want it. Can you, rip its legs off and vacuum it out? And it feels all that. That's crazy, man. I don't know. This took a really dark turn. I didn't expect that number. 63 million. Oh. It really got me, dude. I don't know how to process that information. I really don't. Good Lord Almighty. That's dark as fuck. Anyway, that got really... note to self. Don't do abortion stats if you want to stay in a cheery mood. Because it's a fucking lot. I wrote ceasefire. That's great. See if Trump gives himself the Peace Prize. I found out Trump was given the Silver Crown of the Torah in Israel. He converted to Judaism. What the fuck? This was never made public. I'm telling you, I've been down rabbit holes. The more rabbit holes you go down, the more silent the tea gets. What are we doing? Typhoon in Alaska. No, real deal. There is a serious typhoon in Alaska. See what's going on to Alaska today. Get some updates. Basically, houses are floating away. People are stranded. There were at least 20 missing persons reports last time I checked in. Typhoon in Alaska today. Missing persons. Shout out the chip. 1 dead, 2 people missing, dozens rescued. That's it. Reports 2 remain. Well, it's better than the 50 that are missing. Okay, so it's down to 2. 1 confirmed fatality, hundreds displaced. That's crazy, man. They just washed away. Weather's getting nuts. Mother Nature is off. And I can't imagine why. Surely isn't these oligarchs milking the earth for its resource while leaving the rest of humanity to suffer while they grow exponentially rich and divide us through random bipartisan politics. Surely that's not the case. Anyway, I hope everybody's okay. Sorry to whoever died out there. That sucks. That blows. People die all the time, but that is a pretty crazy way to go. Your house gets washed up. Who knows? Maybe they're just, Tom Hanksing it right now on some island. Probably not. That's a very positive way to look at it, but it is totally. In even brighter news, we have been getting back to stand-up comedy, which has been cool. I was having some good sets this week. I love stand-up. I love doing it. We are now... How many sets have we done? Magic Book. I've done, according to my handy-dandy notebook, 737 sets. Woo! I gave a lot of airport rides today, too. 737. Shout out to Boeing for not exploding my time, at least. Never let me down. I got to everywhere I needed to go. And speaking of planes, we had a couple of comedians do something kind of controversial. They went to Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people took the gig. And it's actually kind of crazy because I don't know. Maybe they chopped up a journalist earlier this year and put him into little pieces, and they put him in a luggage case and then threw it away. That's bad. I think his name was that. Nope, that's definitely wrong. Because I was about to say a totally different guy. Let's head and read this little stat list. Who sold out and who didn't. Some of these pictures are kind of hard to, like, I can't really tell from their main go ahead. I want to get a lineup. I just want to get a lineup of the comics. Old Billy Blood Money. Old Billy Saudi Bags. Old Billy Bones. Where they kill the ladies. Man, why'd you do that, bro? Fucking dicks. I cannot believe that. Okay. Let's go ahead and find a list. I'm gonna find a list of every comic who did this. Wow. Hold on, I just found this real quick. Saudi authorities have been carrying out an unprecedented surge in executions in 2025 without apparent due process. Human Rights Watch and the Middle East Democracy Center said today the June 14th execution of Turki al-Jassar, known for exposing corruption within the Saudi royal family, raises concerns that the Saudi government is using the death penalty to crush peaceful dissent. Saudi authorities had executed at least 200 people in 2025, as of August 5th, with 22 executions in the previous week alone. And according to the international human rights organization Reprieve, they reported that the number of executions in 2020 would exceed all prior records if executions continue at the same rate. So they're almost there, guys. They only have a few people to go. Man, I hope they can reach their quota. You gotta kill those if you want to stay on top. Bring on the ladies. Who was all there? Hey, thank you, Wikipedia. Ooh, participating acts. All right. Let's see who I know, who I like, and who it's going to be hard to say goodbye to. Mo Mayer. I don't know you. Aziz Ansari. I could see him taking money. Wayne Brady. Man, why'd you do that? Hannibal Buress. I could see him doing that too. That sucks. Bill Burr. Old Billy Bonesaw. I have looked up to you for God knows how long. What the fuck, man? You suck. Jimmy Carr. Ha ha! Shot my wife. If you want my comeback, you'll have to sweep it off the ground because my brains are right there because I made a sexual joke in front of the king and they assassinated me. Dave Chappelle. Again, what? You were the voice of a generation. Louis C.K. He's got so much shit going on. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Give me that money. Whitney Cummings. You know, she said a lot of really cool things a couple years ago. She had this great little moment where she was really funny and put CNN on blast. And everyone's like, oh, sick. You're like, hold it down. She's funny. She's keeping it good for the ladies, for comedy. Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, but like they offered half of it. You know, all I got to do was like one night. And then, you know, be head of slave or whatever. So that's sad. Pete Davidson. Didn't they kill your dad? Chris DeStefano. Old Chrissy D. Come on, man. I liked all these fucking man. Omid Djali. That sounds appropriate. Zarnik Garg. Zarnik Garg? That's what I say when I fuck. Ben Hart. I don't know who that is. Kevin Hart. Oh, probably related to Kevin Hart. Who is Ben? He's an English magician. He's actually in no way related to Kevin Hart. That is all right. Well, get your way. Kevin Hart. Yeah, he sold his soul a long time. Gabriel Iglesias. He's fat. He's in a dictatorship. Jimmy Owen, a Northern Irish alien comedian and actor. How many places are you from, dog? Pick one. Maz Brony. Don't know that guy. The Axis of Evil comedy group. Well, now you're in the actual Axis of Evil, so that's crazy. Jessica Kirk. Don't know that. Looks kind of Jewy. Joe Coy. I know Joe. He's not. I never liked him that much. Bobby Lee. We all know Bobby Lee. He started here in San Diego. Maybe one day I could be a sellout. Sebastian Maniscalco. Oh, this guy's fucking it off. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done this. Mark Norman, hey, I'm totally not gay because it's a sin, or don't stone me. Whoa, man. God damn it. I don't even like saying that phrase. I'm just like, come on, Mark, I loved you, bro. This sucks ass. I'm not going to support these people. It's like, oh, shit. He's a good friend of one of my friends, and he gets a lot of money for what he does, so I could see that. Kind of falling off anyway. This is like catering to the boomers. Jeff Ross, man, he made the super heartfelt play, and everybody be all emotional and sympathetic, and then it's like, actually, I'm a sellout. Sugar Sammy, don't know who you are, but I don't like you because you went here. Andrew Santino, hell yeah, is actually a ginger with no soul. Hilarious. Andrew Schultz, yeah, he likes money. That guy loves money. Tom Segura also loves money and seems to do fine when his fans turn on him. He is kind of using that to his advantage right now. Surprised Bart wasn't there. Ali Sadiq. Yeah. I don't know, that sucks. It's pretty funny, actually. It's gay. Sifa Sounds. Don't know who you are, but you are a sellout. Aries Spears. Definitely not related to Britney Spears. He's very black. He's a comedian, impressionist, and actor from Jersey. Oy vey. Tucker. Yeah, he gets a lot of money for stuff, so he was probably like, yeah, get the bag. How was my Chris Tucker? I think what I just did was less racist than him going to Saudi Arabia to perform comedy. And then Jack Whitehall. Don't know who that is. Glad it's not Jack White, because that made me sad. That's the... Tim Dillon was removed from the list due to jokes he made on his podcast about slavery in Saudi Arabia. In which he nevertheless defended his decision to appear on the festival. That's funny. Nimesh Patel announced that he was dropping out of the festival on ethical grounds after comments on Theo Vaughn's podcast. Jim Jeffries was removed from the lineup. Controversy! Oh, man. The Riyadh Comedy Festival received criticism from several comedians and human rights organizations. Human Rights Watch, the government, of purportedly using the event to whitewash its image, even though they had brown people. They had brown people, come on, we're not whitewashing, we're funny. Don't worry about all the slavery and the murder. And urged any performers to call for the release of journalists and activists imprisoned in the Middle Eastern country. Mike Birbiglia, Shane Gillis, Stavros Halkias, Leslie Lau, and Astuko Suka were invited to perform but ultimately declined and spoke out against the event. Some comedians who did not attend criticized their colleagues for putting a fun face on their crimes against humanity. Critics also noted the hypocrisy, stating that some comedians at the festival previously voiced complaints about the lack of free speech in stand-up comedy in the U.S. Okatsuka posted images of the offer she received, which she said included stipulations that the comedians could not perform material that violated certain Saudi censorship rules. Restricted topics included the country itself, its legal system, and the Saudi royal family. Talk about us, what we do, or who we are. Other comedians, including Mark Maron and Zach Woods, criticized the event and the comedians performing there. Maron derided the Prince. Is that how you say that? Maron derided Prince and festival performers in a stand-up routine. During a set, he said, I mean, how do you even promote that? From the folks that brought you 9/11, 2 weeks of laughter in the desert, don't miss it. The same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. That was my Mark Maron. I've never done that before, so I hope that was okay. Comedian, I'm not reading this anymore. Basically, they're all fucking losers, and they shouldn't have done that, because now they've just literally, like, blacklisted from the comedy scene within itself. I mean, they all see them as traitors, and it's like, how can you possibly preach against billionaires and the upper elites when you're taking trillionaire blood money? Excuse me. You have no moral grounds to stand fucking Riyadh Comedy Festival. Do you think Patrice O'Neal would have gone to the Riyadh Comedy Festival? No. They would have made fun of anybody that did it. They would have until they fucking died. And then it's like, no, you don't get to have comedy when you're openly fucking executing people. 241 dead this year alone? No, you don't get to have a funny little joke thing when you're, I don't know, man. Maybe that would make us, undeserving of the same thing because our government, fucking killing people on the daily. Whether it's domestically or internationally, we are upsetting the waters, it constantly. No need for it. It's ridiculous. And why don't we all just take a chill? 2 weeks. Everyone just go home, stop murdering each other, relax. It'd be cool, like it was supposed to be. 2 weeks, we'll just hang by the Winchester and let this all blow. You know what I mean? Now, we've said a lot of things today. I've been talking about all kinds of subjects. Who knows what we'll get into next week? This feels pretty hard to do, actually, because no one really watches this shit. But you know what? By golly, we're here, we're recording it, and maybe one day we'll get a viewership going. But for now, we're just going to keep talking shit on the elites and being me. In the meantime, if you'd like to help support the podcast, please go ahead and send me some cash. That'd be sick, so I can pay my bills and be an adult. And you can help me do the next cool little project. I have all these ideas. No time to execute. So as soon as I get a little cash on my hands, I can make more videos. I gotta fix my camera because my cat peed on it. I need some help here, guys. Come on, help me out. Put the links in there. I did all the work. I'm just kidding. My brain's crazy. I'm trying my best. I have no family. I'm doing what I can. So thanks for listening. I'm Seabass, and thanks for not going to the Riyadh Comedy Festival and tuning in to an episode of the Galactic Seabass Podcast with your host, me, Sebastian Seabass, your host now, forever, and always. Cheers, guys. That was a plane. And also, I like coffee. And with that being said, we're going to get this cool hat that we got the day we got on Kill Tony. We're going to go ahead and say farewell to all my beautiful friends here on this podcast today. Thank you very much. Shout out to Big White over at Camp Woodward for this cool hat and a whole bunch of other cool Woodward stuff. Because without Woodward, I'm sure I'd still be here. So thank you very much. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Thank you to everybody that supports this channel. And go check out some videos. Go check into the stuff I got. I've been making videos for 10 years as of next year. So thanks for being here now and watching this one. My name's Sebastian, aka Seabass, and this was episode 105 of the Galactic Seabass Podcast, here in St. Filmed October 26th, 2025. And that's 2 Thursdays in a row, so we're getting back on track. Maybe we'll even do a Sunday or Monday episode to keep you guys in the loop. Since Bill is going to drop out of being a comedian, I'm going to take over Thursdays, and then we'll go ahead and do the Monday mornings too. Why not? I got to start waking up early anyway. I'm going to get some money, we'll get my mic back, we'll get a real mic for the show, we'll get this thing all dialed. It's going to be sick, and I really appreciate you. By golly, I'm doing my best out here. I'm just trying to pay the bills. So if you can help support, there's some links in the description. Click them, click the like button, share this, make sure you subscribe, do all the cool YouTube stuff. I'm Sebastian. God bless America for what it truly is, a land of people with dreams. And keep on chasing those dreams. You never really know, because anything could be around the corner. And with that being said, I'm going to what's around my corner and go ahead and try to get back to work, because time is money. So let's go ahead and I don't know how to finish that, but I thought it would be cool. So that's it. That's our episode for today. For tuning in, I love you very much. My name's Seabass. It's not really legally, but you can call me that. Anyway, thanks for being here. God bless you. And keep whatever it is that makes you happy. That's all you can really do. And believe in yourself. You never know. I believe in you. So, you got no reason not to. If you believe in the dinosaurs, that means they believe in you. Remember that. Stay golden, pony boys and girls. Anyway, I'm really bad at goodbyes. Somebody should make a sequence of all the weird goodbyes I've done over the years. That'd be lovely. with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call this thing right there. That's 88 minutes in episode 105. I'm Seabass. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. Rock and roll. Best of luck in all your endeavors. Click the link. Appreciate you. We'll see you very soon. More videos coming soon. Help me get a new bike for a kid. More information in the old videos. Help me survive. Links below. And I appreciate you a whole bunch. And about see me at the U31 on October 24th at 8 p.m. I'm going to do some comedy here in town, and more shows to be announced soon. Maybe we're going on tour. We already finished our first tour this year. Our very first tour, all of America with a bicycle. First guy to ride a BMX across America. First comedian to do a tour by bicycle, including North America. And we got on Kill Tony. Check it out on Netflix, episode 1. Very proud of that. You guys are awesome. Take care. See you soon. Rock and roll. Again, I mean this. I really do. Best of luck in all your endeavors, whatever they may be. I'm Sebastian Seabass Fowler. This was the Galactic Seabass Podcast. And transmission.